Mr. Abdullah bin Shamlan, the visionary founder of Spiro, and in just 5 years, Spiro has revolutionized Saudi Arabia's automotive after sales landscape, serving over 1 million users and 450 businesses. Today, Abdullah will discuss the impact of technology in the automotive aftermarket space, offering insights into delivering efficiency and excellence. Welcome, Mr. Abdullah.
Uh, Hello. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. First of all, allow me to thank Automechanika Riyadh for organizing such a good event. In today's session, I would like to discuss the impactful transformation of automotive, the impactful transformation of technology into the automotive aftermarket sector. But before I dive in, let me a little bit introduce myself and what we do in Spiro. My name is Abdullah bin Shamlan. I'm the founder and CEO of Spiro, which is a leading marketplace in automotive aftermarket sales, fully focused online. We've been operating for 5 years, and here's some of our numbers. We have served so far more than 300,000 customers, have bought parts completely online. We have more than 2 million downloads in the app stores, and we also have more than 1 million registered customers. The reason I'm giving you a little bit about my background is prior to Spiro, I actually worked with several online companies getting into completely offline industries trying to transform them. One of those companies you may heard of is Hanger Station. So when it comes to food delivery, for instance, I've witnessed the transformation of food delivery across the span of 12 years. Since Saudi was almost processing 200 orders a day, up until nearly 1 million orders as of today. But I'm not here to talk about the food delivery transformation. I'm here to talk about the digital impact on automotive after sales. As you can see, with any industry that needs to be digitized, there is a typical customer journey that goes with search, select and buy, delivery of service or products. Today we will discuss exactly if there is an opportunity lies among those steps, and mostly the challenges of digitization comes up between those steps for those players, and I know some of you are actually operating in the digital landscape. So let's start with the search. One number that I find lots of suppliers are not aware of is how fast digitization are actually taking place today in Saudi. According to Google, there's 1.5 million search volume a month in the kingdom. I remember when we first started Spiro 5 years ago, this number was less than 400K. What is more surprising is not only the number itself, which represents actually almost 20% of car owners in Saudi. What is really surprising is the growth rate of the top keywords that consumers are actually searching. Some of those keywords are particularly dedicated towards car services, Toyota car parts, general car parts, etc. Those keywords are growing in search volume by almost 200% year over year. So this is a testament that when it comes to the first of the journey, the demand is magnificent. The market is really hungry for such digital solutions and for those suppliers to transform online. So what about the next step, which is the buying step? Okay, we understand that when it comes to search, coronavirus have actually accelerated the use of technology. But before I discuss also the buying step, I would like to reflect on the typical supply chain as of today. A typical car parts supply chain will start with the manufacturer OEMs, going into the local agency, going into the wholesaler, distributors, into bar stores, eventually into the end of the supply chain, which is repair shops and end consumers. This supply chain have not been disrupted for the past 40, 50 years. But today we are seeing early signs of transformation. We are seeing several players that have entered the market. Some of them are already here. Each of those completely digital players are entering the market trying to digitize part of the supply chain. Some of them are focused into B2B, the others are focused into repair shops, let's say spare parts. Autobia, for example, are completely focused into connecting suppliers with other suppliers. Mismar and the founder of Mismar, Khaled, is here, is focused on car services for B2C and also insurance companies. So one thing in common with all those online players, all of them, their strategy is very clear. They want to shorten the supply chain. They want to enable the start of the supply chain to reach to the end consumer and also remove any friction in between. This also represents a significant opportunity to streamline operations. In addition, to streamlining operations, it will also increase operational efficiency. But this also may also represent a threat to some of the players who will not digitize or go into omnichannel pretty much soon in the next 5 to 6 years. Speaking of which, after the search, let's see the impact on sales. Are those customers whom are actually searching online are actually buying? So two things to notice here before we reflect the growth of those players. All of those players are spending currently less than what the benchmark is spending on marketing and customer acquisition. They were completely focused on building their products, getting it into the markets, solving specific problems for the supply chain, including repair shops, suppliers. However, even though they are spending 80% less on marketing, maybe most of you haven't heard of them, their sales is growing 8x in the past 2 years. This is a testament that customers are not only searching and ending buying offline. Yes, there is an overlap between searching online and buying online, and we believe the future will remain omnichannel, but customers are actually buying their products online. In addition to the transformation that is happening into the buying experience and the search step in the customer journey, we also see a growing trend of investment in those players. So in the past 2 years, most of those players were actually new. Their age in the market is less than 4 years. But today, we are seeing also 4x growth in terms of cash being injected into those players to transform such an experience in such a fragmented market. So let's recap about the impact of technology in the past 4 years. We all know we all know this is new, but all the indicators, all the KPIs of the customer journey is indicating a very promising and immense opportunity in the years to come. We see 4x growth in investment into digital players. We also see annualized revenue growing 8x in the past 2 years. And we see online search volume almost doubling year over year. And the number is not an easy number. We're talking about 1.5 million search volume a month. And Saudi have almost 15 million cars, more or less. But the question I always receive also from some of the suppliers I meet is the opportunity really, Abdullah, worth it? We don't think that digital automotive aftermarket will go completely digital. And to be completely honest, I agree with that statement. We do not think that automotive after sales could be completely digitized. However, big research firms, including McKinsey and others, have indicated also what we believe as hypothesis in Spiro. We believe the future lies in omnichannel. If you're a supplier today in the market, focus on getting your presence into the steps of the journey online in several steps that I will also explain in the slides to come. If you're a digital player, if you're a completely digital player, you may also consider omnichannel and going offline for some of your distribution strategies. What we believe also, what I personally believe and we believe as hypothesis in Spiro, is that what digitization and digital impact lacks as of today in the market is the more collaboration between those players. One thing to mention here is that from experience, the weaknesses with most of the digital players are actually very strong strength with strategic players, with suppliers that have been in the market for tens and tens of years. One of the things also to mention here is the infrastructure. So most of those players have actually operating, focusing on building tech product, tech infrastructure, customer acquisition. They didn't have really the time or the resources to build the parts infrastructure to operate at scale. But we believe that's a step they are actually taking in the years to come. In Spiro, for example, we're planning to build a strong warehousing capabilities in the next 2 years and to tap into the B2B sector. I think there is a technical issue, so bear with me. Another thing also to mention here when it comes to the tech infrastructure for suppliers, that's something that is really difficult to build. It requires investment and it requires also expertise. So in those two synergies, we see a huge collaboration areas between players in the market. Just to recap about you as a supplier today, what you can do to actually start digitizing your business. One important factor is online integration. All of those players we have mentioned, most of them, their mission is to enable suppliers to go online. Some of them, however, will compete with those suppliers because of their reasons. But online integrations becomes a key component in your omni-channel strategy as of today. The other part is supply chain optimization, and this doesn't only include processes, but also some tools and innovation, business innovation when it comes to your supply chain. Example of some trend that we see are currently going underway. Most of those supply players, digital players and big players as well, are planning to have big cloud warehouses that goes completely digital to reach to end consumers. And I think this is a very promising step that's worth exploring in the next years to come. The third actually key pillars that I also advise everyone to follow is embracing omnichannel as a strategy. I think I've discussed about that. And the fourth opportunity that will actually represent a huge collaborations in the years to come is M&A. So just in my way coming here, I've met with 2 to 3 new digital players coming into the market. They haven't launched yet. And they've also seen 2 to 3 strategic vendors trying to meet online players. I believe in this industry, collaboration is key. It's completely a collaborative industry, and it's all volume driven. Magic could happen with M&A procedures for those suppliers. So you may, if you're a supplier, you may also consider either investing as a strategic investment or maybe acquiring some of those players. The number of digital players are high, so definitely not all of them will reach the scale they want to reach to. Some of them may have the infrastructure ready, and they may be looking for a strategic acquisition. That's it for me in this session. It was really direct. It was only the steps of the journey. If you have any questions, I'd be thankful to listen to it. That's it. في قسم